Alright, excuse me. Welcome to another rap analysis video. If you couldn't tell by that amazing instrumental, and of course it says right on the title of the YouTube video, today's song, I picked a Tupac song, and people might say it's a funny choice. Out of all the Tupac songs I could pick, this is the first Tupac one I've done. I chose Staring at the World Through My Rear View, and there's a couple reasons why. I can't really say any one Tupac song is my favorite. There's got to be about 10 or 20 that I hold in higher regard than others. He's got so many great songs, but this one is in my top 3 for sure. And I felt like this is like the most mysterious. It's not like an aggressive Tupac song. It's not like some of his other ones like that are love songs or like deep thinking. Well, I guess this is kind of a deep thinking one. I just find this the one the most mysterious, especially with all the details surrounding his death, and we'll get into some of the other artists on the song, and just all the Tupac is alive theories and all that 7-day theory, all that stuff. I just feel like this song, there's way more to it than I think we'll ever know unless we could ask him, and it's such a zone-out vibe song too. It really puts me in a place. I just feel like I'm up in the clouds also looking down at the world, and like it's so weird because the way the song is and the lyrics and some of the stuff they talk about, I think everybody can interpret what he means by staring at the world through my rear view differently, but at the end, in the outro, he tries to explain what he means by it, and I feel like he's just tricking us, like that's not even really what it's, I don't know, but I mean, I like how everyone can interpret different and it can mean different. People can play this song and it can give them a different feeling inside. So it first originally appeared, it's Tupac featuring E.D.I. and Kadafi, both members of the Outlaws. They were obviously, they hooked up with Tupac way back in the day. They formed a couple groups. There was a Dramacidal group, I believe they were called. I think Kadafi was called Young Hollywood back then. Can't remember what E.D.I. name was, but when they started the Outlaws and they all got like their like Tupac was Machiavelli, their alias. E.D.I. I think it was like for the leader of Uganda, if I remember, and I'm not sure what the Kadafi one was. So fill me in if you know that. So they featured on the track. It was originally released in 1997 posthumously for Tupac and Kadafi on the gang-related soundtrack, and it was track 8, and then also when the Tupac Resurrection movie came out, it was on the soundtrack to that, and it was also track number 8, and so here's where you get into the things. Everywhere I search says different things about who produced it. It says on some sites that it was produced by Johnny J and co-produced by Tupac. Of course, Johnny J was, for at least a year or two, Tupac's in-house producer, and they collaborated a lot and worked together to come up with the sounds Tupac wanted. But then on a couple other sites, it says it was produced by Hurt and Bad and Tupac. So I'm not exactly entirely sure on that. And whenever I type it in, it always says a song by Tupac and Roger Troutman, which I'm not sure what that means. But it does have a sample on it. It's one of the many rap songs that have sampled In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. In this case, it samples the drums, which you can hear there. There's some other famous rap songs that sampled that song by Phil Collins. There was Meek Mill intro song on the one album, DMX I Can Feel It song, Lil' Kim, which the same title, In the Air Tonight. Sean Kingston, Can You Feel It, sampled it. Shaq and Bobby Brown did a song together that sampled this song. AZ had a song, What's Going On Black, that sampled In the Air Tonight. Joe Budden had a Rest in Peace song that sampled In the Air Tonight, and Young Buck had a New York City song. But I feel like this may be the best, or at least my favorite song, the rap song that sampled In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins, which is a song I also really love. So this just honestly brings me back into the days growing up in Campbell River, BC on the West Coast. Everyone was in the Tupac, I first got into Tupac around 94, so I was about 12 years old. The first Tupac tape I had was Me Against the World. My friend Aaron borrowed it for weeks because he just loved the Dear Mama song. He'd rewind it. A lot of the the indigenous people, or the natives, that I grew up with, like half the town, so half of my friends were really huge Tupac fans, as was I. And, you know, I'd hang out with Corey Scow and Norman Flanders and David Marshall, and we would always listen to Tupac. Corey liked the really aggressive songs. I remember he always liked that, like the Hit 'Em Up and the Troublesome and the Hellraiser. And Norman was really into like the crazy and the songs like this, and like the ones that put you in a super vibe. And David always liked, I mean, everybody liked every Tupac song at that point. We were all really riding hard for Tupac even after he passed. David liked the upbeat, like the California Loves and like the club songs and stuff like that. But I always remember so many good times going there after school or on the weekends or in class. I had this Walkman with a couple Tupac songs on it, and Corey would always borrow that from me. And that's really what it reminds me of, is my childhood, being 13, 14, 15, 16, listening to these kind of songs. But let's get into it. If you're not familiar with rap analysis, I don't play the song and react to it. I just read you the lyrics, tell you what I think about them, how they made me feel. If I don't know some of the slang or what they're talking about, then people in the comments help me out. I'm not one of those, oh, first time hearing this song. No, I love this song. I've listened to it. This song, I know some of the other ones I've said hundreds. This one probably close to 1,000 times. Man, I used to listen to this on repeat. So at the beginning of the song, Tupac says a little intro. He goes, staring at the world through my rear view, just looking back at the world from another level. You know what I mean? And like, it almost seemed like everybody always said Tupac knew he was gonna die, and he foreshadowed his own death. And it seems like this is a song where he's like from heaven speaking to us. Like, I don't know, I get that from it. So anyway, the first verse kicks in. And Tupac comes in and says, multiple gunshots clear the block, the fun stops, snitches is calling cops, people shot, nobody stops. I wonder when the world stopped caring. Last night 2 kids shot while the whole block staring. And Tupac's music still holds up to this day. Like the stuff he's speaking on, it's still going on today. All like the racism and all the stuff about rich and poor and that kind of stuff. And when he says, I wonder when the world stopped caring, man, it still feels like that to me. And Tupac's music is timeless, for sure. 2 kids shot while the whole block's staring. And then this is another good line. I will never understand this society. First they try to murder me, then they lie to me. Product of a dying breed. All my homies trying weed. Now the little baby's crazed, raised off a Hennessy. Tell me, will my enemies flee when they see me? Believe me, even thugs gotta learn to take it easy. Listen, through intermission, search your heart for a plan. We turning bad boys to grown men. It's on again. I don't know if that's a shot at Bad Boy. It probably will. He always found a way to drop Mobb Deep and Biggie and Bad Boy in there. But he's saying some real stuff here. I gotta go back a little bit. Like, he's like saying, you know, he'll never understand the society. They try to murder him, then they lie to me and act like everything's his fault. And then he's a product of a dying breed, for sure. Not too many people like Tupac left. All his homies are trying weed. So, like, I love about Tupac is that he can talk about the bad things he's done, but he can also preach to others and not feel like you're talking down, or he's talking down to anyone. He's relatable. He's done his share of dirt too. So the babies are crazed. They're off of Hennessy, and will his enemies flee when they see him? Even thugs got to learn to take it easy. And listen through intermission, search your heart for a plan, turning bad boys to grown men. It's on again. Some of the words, I don't like to say certain words. Obviously, I have no place saying them, so I'll just say like homie or bro or something like that. I think you know what I'm referring to. So then he goes, I give a holler to my homies in the darkest corners. I'll roll a perfect blunt and let me spark it for you. One love from a thug homie rolling with a posse full of paranoid drug dealers. To the end, my friend, I'm seeing nothing but my dreams coming true while I'm staring at the world through my rear view. See, I'm seeing nothing but my dreams coming true while I'm staring at the world through my rear view. And he's like, keeps referencing death too, like till the end. And then the hook keeps going. That was like the pre-hook, I guess. And then he goes, they got me staring through the world through my rear view. Go on, baby, scream to God. He can't hear you. And then he's like talking as if he's got someone else in the car. I can feel your heart beating fast cause it's time to die. Getting high, watching time fly. And all my motherfuckers staring at the world through my rear view. Go on, baby, scream to God. He can't hear you. I can feel your heart beating fast cause it's time to die. Getting high, watching time fly. And then verse 2 is E.D.I. and he says, man, and he's like touching on, I feel like he's talking about Tupac in a little bit here and like, and that. He says, now you see him, now you don't. Some homies be here for the moment and then they gone. What happened to them? Well, let's see. It seems to be a mystery, but all I know, I never let the money get to me. Man, for years, and even till this day, there's people, I think because Tupac is one of those people wish was still alive so bad that they're willing to believe that maybe he was. I still feel in my heart like, maybe it's just that because of his so much music and movies, he's still here with us because he left such a great legacy that he is. But it's so weird how E.D.I. saying this stuff. And then he says, stay down like the truest. It's almost like he's saying like, even if Tupac's gone, this is just what I'm thinking, that he's going to stay down for him. He's going to stay down like the truest. Thug life until I check out this bitch. I thought you knew this. Who is going to catch me when I fall or even care to? Because, I mean, a lot of his homies are gone, right? While you thinking I see you lost up in my rear view, here you is down with them outlaws. Outcast, left far, I'm through like southpaws. But we still keep mashing until our dreams come through. Staring at the world through my rear view. And it's really cool how they keep talking about, Tupac said it earlier, about seeing my dreams coming through, staring at the world through my rear view. And we'll talk a little bit about that when he gets to the outro. And then Tupac comes in for his second verse of the song, and he says, now I was raised as a young black male in order to get paid, forced to make crack sales. Caught a homie, so they sent me to these overpacked jails in the cell, counting days in this living black hell. So, like, he's running that life, but he's being forced into it, and he's just trying to survive. Do you feel me? Keys to ignition, use at your discretion. Roll with a 12-gauge pump for protection. Homies hate me in this section from years of chin checking. Turn to Smith & Wesson war weapons. Heavenly Father, I'm a soldier. I'm getting hotter cause the world's getting colder. Baby, let me hold ya. Talk to my guns like they fly bitches. All you busters, best to run. Look at my bitches. And then he goes back into the chorus again there. I'm not going to do that again. You guys already had to hear me brutalize it the first time, and I apologize. I try to read, but I try and also try and keep the flow a little bit. Sounds way better than just reading it like an essay. And then after that, Kadafi comes in for his part, and he says, back in the days we hustled for sneakers and beepers, 9-6 for Glocks, cause fiends hitting up blocks with street sweepers. Bless myself when no one rules to these streets, something that I learned in school on some million men march shit for the peace. True that, only one life to live, a fast life of greed, criminally addicted, infested since a seed. We all die, breed, bleed like humans, town run by young guns, outlaws, and truants. Shit's deep, turn 18, burn my will when I go. Burn my body with my shoddy ore, chasing my dough. So while you reminiscent all nights out with your crew, smoke a blunt for me too, I'm staring through your rear view. And that one gets me. Because Kadafi died about 2 months after Tupac, and he references 18 here, but he was only 19 years old when he was shot. Man, this is sad, but I'll try and get through this here. But it's almost like he's saying at the end, "Smoke a blunt for me too." I'm staring through your review like he's also in heaven with Tupac. Man, how could someone write a song like, well, all three of these guys write a song so deep that ended up being true? Just the vision there is crazy. So then, and then rest in peace to Tupac. Of course, I didn't really address that fully, but a lot of people knew more about Tupac than they knew about Kadafi. 19 years old, man. And then Tupac has his own outro at the end, which he did on a lot of songs. He would always talk either at the beginning or at the end. And this is his explanation of it, although I don't buy it completely. He goes, "Ha, you ain't knowing what we mean by staring through the rear view. So since you ain't knowing what we mean, let me break it better. Let me break it. Better understanding the world. The world is behind us. Once a motherfucker get an understanding on the game and what the levels and the rules of the game is, then the world ain't no trick no more. The world is a game to be played." So he's like making it seem like staring through the rear view is just like that. He's above everybody else as far as his thinking, and that he can control his destiny and all that stuff. But I always felt like he was talking about death more in this song. I think because he died, I think that's where, if this song came out when he was still alive, then maybe this outro would make a bit more sense to what he was saying. So now we looking at the world from high, watch behind us. We know what we gotta do. We just gotta put our mind to it and do it. It's all about the papers. Money rules the world, bitches make the world go round. Real people do what they wanna do, bitch people do what they can do. And then the hook repeats a couple of times, but it's just, I can't get sick of it. I think the beat is just so amazing, and even the hook, I could just listen to that all day on repeat. That's a lot. Let me know what Tupac song you would like me to pick. I'll obviously be doing more in the future. There's tons of Tupac songs that I love, and or if you have any other requests, I usually stick to the '90s until like about 2010 there. I'm still keep up with nowadays rap, but I usually just listen to the guys that I was fans of, that put out new projects, and I don't listen to a lot of the new guys, but my kid puts me up on that, and I am familiar with a lot of the new bangers and stuff, but I like reminiscing and talking about the songs that had such meaning to me in the past more than current stuff, and everybody does the current stuff, so let me know what you think of the video. I enjoy doing these, that's why I'm doing them, and if I missed anything, or if you interpret it different, or if I screwed up the lyric site, I went to the genius.com one this time, and they seem to be pretty on point with this song, although it's not, or it's easy to get Tupac right. He speaks so clearly and just so well spoken that you can't. There's not a lot of words in there where you gotta say, did he say this? Did he say that? So I think it was pretty on point. And we'll catch you next time on the Rap Analysis channel.